When we talk about football, whether American football or soccer, it's usually the players that get the spotlight. The touchdowns, the goals, the salaries, the flashy lifestyles. But behind every team, there's someone even wealthier pulling the strings: the owners. These men and women aren't just sports fans, they're billionaires, tycoons, and power brokers who see clubs as both investments and status symbols. And when you compare the owners of the NFL and the Premier League, you'll find two very different worlds of wealth colliding. Let's start in the NFL. The league has some of the most valuable franchises in sports, and the owners are a who's who of American business royalty. Take Jerry Jones, for example, the iconic owner of the Dallas Cowboys. He bought the team in 1989 for $140 million, a huge number at the time. Today, the Cowboys are valued at over $9 billion, the most valuable sports team on the planet. Jones's personal net worth is over $13 billion, and his fingerprints are on everything from AT&T Stadium's design to the way NFL teams market themselves. For many fans, Jerry Jones isn't just an owner, he is the Dallas Cowboys. Then there's Stan Kroenke, another NFL heavyweight. He owns the Los Angeles Rams, as well as a global sports empire that includes the Denver Nuggets in the NBA, the Colorado Avalanche in the NHL, and even Arsenal in the Premier League. His net worth is estimated at over $16 billion, and his crown jewel is SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles, a $5 billion architectural marvel that Kroenke funded largely out of his own pocket. For Kroenke, ownership isn't about passion, it's about portfolio. His reach stretches from American football to English football, making him one of the most influential figures in global sports. Robert Kraft is another household name. The New England Patriots owner turned a struggling franchise into one of the greatest dynasties in NFL history, led by Tom Brady and Bill Belichick. Kraft's net worth sits around $11 billion, and while the Patriots are his signature investment, his fortune comes from paper and packaging. His ownership has been a masterclass in combining smart business with sporting success, building the Patriots brand into one of the most recognized in the world. Other big names include David Tepper of the Carolina Panthers, a hedge fund billionaire worth over $20 billion, making him the wealthiest individual NFL owner. Then there's Stephen Ross, who owns the Miami Dolphins and is behind massive real estate projects like Hudson Yards in New York. NFL ownership is like a private club of America's wealthiest, where family dynasties, real estate magnates, and Wall Street billionaires converge. Now let's cross to the Premier League, where the ownership picture looks very different. Instead of American family dynasties, you often see international billionaires, oil magnates, and global investors. And their money isn't just big, it's astronomical. Take Sheikh Mansour, owner of Manchester City. A member of Abu Dhabi's royal family, his personal fortune is estimated at over $20 billion. But when you factor in the resources of the Abu Dhabi United Group, the wealth behind City stretches into the hundreds of billions. Since taking over in 2008, Sheikh Mansour has transformed City from a mid-table club into one of the most dominant teams in Europe. The spending has been relentless. World-class players, state-of-the-art training facilities, and commercial deals that tie Manchester to the Middle East. City's rise is as much a story about petro-wealth as it is about football. Then there's Roman Abramovich, the Russian oligarch who transformed Chelsea after buying the club in 2003. His net worth once peaked around $15 billion, and his spending spree on players completely reshaped the Premier League's competitive balance. Though Abramovich was forced to sell the club in 2022, due to sanctions, his legacy lives on. Chelsea became a global powerhouse because of his billions. Arsenal, as we mentioned earlier, is controlled by Stan Kroenke, giving him a foothold in both the NFL and Premier League. Meanwhile, Liverpool is owned by Fenway Sports Group, the American consortium led by John Henry. His fortune comes from investments in baseball's Boston Red Sox and media ventures, with a net worth of about $4 billion. FSG turned Liverpool from financial strugglers into European champions, proving that even American-style sports ownership can thrive in English football. But the richest ownership group in the Premier League is arguably Newcastle United's. In 2021, Saudi Arabia's public investment fund purchased the club, backed by resources exceeding $600 billion. That's not a typo. While the actual funds directly allocated to Newcastle are far smaller, the sheer scale of the wealth involved dwarfs anything in the NFL. For perspective, The Saudi PIF has more money than the GDP of many countries, and their entrance into Premier League ownership has raised major questions about sports washing, politics, and the future of competition. Then there's Manchester United, owned by the Glazer family. Their fortune comes from real estate and investments, and while their net worth is smaller than the petro-billionaires, United itself is still one of the most valuable clubs in the world. The Glazers' ownership has been controversial, with fans protesting their leveraged buyout and ongoing debt structure, but financially they remain key players in the global sports landscape. So how do these two leagues compare? In the NFL, ownership is dominated by American billionaires who grew their wealth through business empires, hedge funds, or real estate. The richest among them, like David Tepper, hover around the $20 billion mark. In the Premier League, ownership is increasingly global and often tied to sovereign wealth or international conglomerates. Sheikh Mansour and the Saudi PIF bring resources that make even the NFL's richest look small by comparison. But there's another difference. NFL owners make money largely through the closed system of the league. Revenue sharing, TV deals, merchandising, and luxury stadium revenue. Premier League owners face promotion and relegation, fierce competition, and the volatility of European football. For them, clubs are not just cash machines. They're global branding tools, political assets, and gateways into international influence. At the end of the day, both leagues represent the highest level of sport as business. In the NFL, billionaires compete in a carefully controlled system that guarantees profits. In the Premier League, owners from every corner of the globe pour fortunes into clubs, chasing both trophies and prestige. So who really wins? In pure numbers, the Premier League's petro-billionaires and sovereign wealth funds dwarf the NFL's richest individuals. But in profitability and financial stability, the NFL's closed shop ensures its American owners never lose. It's dynasty wealth versus oil wealth. Wall Street versus royal palaces. And together they remind us that modern football, whether American or global, isn't just about what happens on the field. It's about who owns the game.